What's up everybody, Phillip here, and I'm going to show you how to take this cast iron pan that has been cleaned and we're gonna restore it, and we're gonna make it look brand new again and back in working order. This pan before, if you've seen my video previously, was all rusted. It was left outside and I got it out of the my father-in-law got it out of the junk and he gave it to me to restore, and that's what we're going to do because this is still a perfectly good pan or skillet that we can use. So now that we went through the restoring process, now we got to go through the seasoning process. Now that our pan is all dry, we're going to take oil. Now we can use, I'm going to use vegetable oil, you can use flask oil, you can use olive oil. I know I'm going to get an earful which does the best, but for right now I'm going to use vegetable oil because that's what works for me. So we're going to take a little bit of vegetable oil and we're just going to put it in the middle of it. And then we're going to take a paper towel. We're going to take a paper towel and we're just going to rub this around. Get it everywhere. Everywhere. Do the inside of the pan. And then we're going to do the outside of the pan. You're going to get a little bit oily. That's okay. It washes off. It washes off. So we're going to get everything oiled. You can flip it over. You can put a pan underneath, which I should probably do, just so it doesn't get oil on the stove. But I've already done it, so we might as well just keep going with it. I'm gonna rub the oil everywhere. I'm gonna pick it up and we're just gonna get in every little nook and cranny. All right. We're gonna let that sit for just a couple minutes. Keep rubbing it in. Okay, we'll let that sit a couple minutes. All right, we let that sit a couple minutes. I put a pan underneath because I don't want to get in trouble for getting the stove all dirty and oily. So we take another paper towel, and the oil you just put on, we're basically gonna just wipe it off. We don't want any oil. Well, it's gonna have a thin layer of oil still, but we're gonna basically want to wipe off the whole pan. Get all that oil back off. There's just gonna be a thin layer, and you're gonna use more than one paper towel, but then you also want to do the underside. We're gonna flip this over. We're gonna wipe all the oil off of the underside too. Okay, now that we have this done, we're gonna flip this back over, and we want to set our oven to 500 degrees, or as high as your oven can go. Some people say you can do it at 400, but I like to do it at 500. And we're going to put this in upside down on the rack. And we want to put it upside down because if any oil is still in here and it gets up to the 500 degrees, we don't want any oil pooling in the pan. We want it all to run off the pan so it bakes evenly and we get a nice season on this. Once we put this in the oven, we're going to let this go for about an hour at 500 degrees. And then it gets to 500 degrees after the hour. We're going to shut the oven off and we're going to leave the pan in there to cool. Okay, I took this out a little bit earlier. You should let this cool down almost all the way, but if If not, it doesn't have to be completely cooled. It can still be a little bit warm. I just used a pot holder. So we've already seasoned this once, and already I can tell a huge difference in the pan after we just seasoned it once. So we're going to season it again, and then we're going to do it probably about 3 more times after this. But I'm going to show you the next step of seasoning it again, and then I'm going to show you the final the end result after I've done it about 5 times. That way, you know, you pretty much rinse and repeat this process. So like we did before, we're just going to take some of the vegetable oil, we're just going to pour it in, and then we're going to wipe it around with a paper towel. We're going to take our paper towel again and just go right back and do the exact same thing. And right now, since our oven's pretty much cooled off, let's reset our oven to 500 degrees and restart that back up, so that way we can get this going a lot faster. So we're going to do a thin layer again. We're going to wipe everything. Front or inside the pan and outside the pan, we'll flip it over. Then I'll get a little bit more oil, because a little goes a long way. Try not to spill it. That'll be perfect. Okay, and we rub it around the outside of the pan. Make sure we get it everywhere. Now this spoon is not of importance. I'm just using that wooden spoon because my autofocus wants to go crazy because of the black pan and doesn't want to focus on it. So that's the only reason why the spoon here is to help out with my autofocus, so you don't see blurriness in the video. All right, now that we did, we're gonna throw this paper towel away, and we're gonna grab another one, just like we did the first time. And now we're just gonna take a clean paper towel, and we're gonna take this all back off. And it's still going to apply that, it's still going to have a little bit of that coating of the oil on there. And that's all we want. We don't want too much, because it's just wasting. You're not going to bake it on there. You just want a thin layer. All right. You kind of feel like you're going backwards, because you're like, I just reapplied this and now I'm just going to take it back off. Well, it's kind of the point. We just want a very thin layer of oil on it. I'm going to go over this a little bit more, and then we'll put it right back in the oven. All right, now that we got our oven back up to 500 degrees, we're going to open it up, and we're going to put the pan back in upside down. And push that back in. We're just going to let that sit for another 60 minutes, and then we're going to shut the oven off again, and then we are going to let it sit and cool off, and then repeat the process 3 more times. All right, so I have seasoned this 5 times in the stove, and look at how great that has come out. Just look at that. Just look at, if you look at it, you could just see it. If you just look at that. No rust. Now, this is what my other pan looks like. My other skillet. You know, and it'll end up getting like this after a while, because every time you use it, you know, if you have cast iron, once you clean it up after using it the first, you know, every time actually, you'll re-oil it, and you go through the process of cleaning it, not like any other pan that you'd clean. If you want me to make a how to clean your cast iron after using it, I'll show you how. It's really easy. Put a comment down in the comment section below if you want me to make a video on that, or hit the like button, you know, whatever. I'm Phillip Bridges, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button. Phillip Bridges, and thanks for watching.